Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're gonna talk about The Ruins, another movie review. I'm pumping those out pretty quickly. It came out in 2009. It's a horror porn, I would say, because it gets pretty freaking brutal, man. We follow 6 characters that head to these ruins, however you pronounce it, and to get that once in a lifetime adventure. It's difficult to critique this movie because in some parts it is smart. One of the characters, for example, they have been riding a bus, then they've been riding a garbage taxi all the way up into the mountains. The taxi leaves, and one of the characters finally says, "Hey, this guy's leaving. How are we gonna get back?" And he's like, "No, I got the phone number and a phone." What? You're in the middle of freaking nowhere. Why would you just go there? It made zero sense. I mean, the premise of them going there is really weird, and while some characters do point out, like, hey, we shouldn't go there. Hey, this entrance is covered. Why is it covered? We shouldn't go in there. But I guess it's kind of like a saying to peer pressure. All the other guys are saying, let's go in, and you went them, so fuck it, we went in. And they went in. So what happens next is insane. So they find these abandoned temple, for example, okay? And there are these savages or people who live in villages, and they're like, they don't speak the same languages. And then this girl is taking pictures of them, and so her boyfriend is like, hey, Amy, don't do that. Don't take pictures. These guys have guns and they're pointing at them. They have arrows and bows and shit. Stop taking pictures. Of course, she doesn't listen, and to get a better shot, she walks backwards and again clicks the freaking camera. However, this time her foot is on the temple's grass, and that just escalated to them being forced to go into the temple and quarantine them. Why? You will see it for yourself. What follows is a lot of bad moments, a lot of character study, even though these characters aren't really that great, and a lot of uncomfortable moments. Very bloody, uncomfortable moments. It's when you put yourself into their position, it's a very bad position to be in, and you can see how one of them has this massive paranoia going on, rightfully so, and it was at one point, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a 2009 movie, so if you're gonna watch it, just be prepared. It's very bloody. It isn't really that good of a movie. I would point it out as like a 6 out of 10. However, if you want to see some bloody mess and a little bit of a mystery, a little tiny bit that isn't really explained that well, give it a shot. Other than that, what follows now is spoilers. So I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to watch the movie and come back. Finally, let's go. So there are a couple of things that already. Amy, why are you taking pictures? I don't know. I wouldn't do that. What the fuck? In fact, I wouldn't even jump onto any bus and any taxi, of 11 miles of forest, and then the taxi driver just leaves. Why? It's just a massive idiotic things to do. I wouldn't do that. The other guy, the young doctor, is like, "We are American." I'm like, what the fuck? Very strange, man. I think it could have been done a whole lot better than how it was. Really. So let's talk about the German guy. So he's saying that his brother went over there, and he hasn't responded back. You know, obviously we know that something happened. Well, the weird thing is when they hear the ringing, which turns out later on in the movie it isn't a cell phone, it is actually the plants vibrating. He says, that's my brother's girlfriend's ringtone. And I'm like, no, they just found out it isn't. Isn't that what? You know? It's just one dumb thing after the other. How about when the German guy falls down, breaks his back, and then these two girls are trying to say, hey, pick him from over there, picking up the hips, and she's like, are you sure that's the right way to do so? And he's like, yeah, I mean, right up there, and he can hear you, there's a doctor. Ask him, hey, this guy has a broken back, how should we carry him? Because when they pick him up, they twist him like, oh, holy fucking shit, I don't even want to remember that. I mean, it was anyhow, just crazy stuff. A couple of things that the doctor did that I enjoyed, like, you know, cutting off his legs and being this star. I love that part, man. It was very brutal. Another brutal part was the blonde girl when she starts cutting herself and cutting pieces of meat of that's fucking disgusting, man. I had a hard time watching that one. The ending is, you know, really so-so. I mean, they all die and the plant spreads. I would have liked a little bit, maybe if they found some notes from the brother, kind of like, you know, like investigation, like what are these plants? How come they vibrate like that? What's going on? Because they really don't explain anything in that regard in the movie. I did feel it was a little bit longer than it should be, even though I think it's 90 minutes or so. It became a little bit boring at some points. The blonde girl boyfriend, even though he's a good actor, I don't even know what he's doing in this movie. I don't know. He doesn't take charge of anything. He only has one good idea, which is make a run for it. Which, if they would have done it at the beginning, that would have happened. The fact that the doctor says that somebody will call for help, somebody will come because we have 4 Americans, that made 0 sense to me. You are in the middle of fucking nowhere. Nobody knows where the fuck you are. Who's coming? And if 2 guys are coming, what makes you think these 2 guys are gonna defeat all these villagers that are weaponized and have shown they don't care? They will kill anybody. You know, they killed a kid too. But yeah, I like the paranoia, especially the blonde girl. She did a fantastic job, you know, of losing it. It was just good stuff, man. But other than that, it's just a 2009 movie, you know, came out when Saw did, and Hostel and all that shit. Or was it before? I don't know, man. It was like torture porn, man, and that's all there is to it. It has a small, tiny mystery. It was interesting, but it could have been done a little bit better. Maybe have some characters be smart throughout the whole movie, you know. Yeah, and that's about it. So yeah, if you want to watch it, give it a shot, man. I think if you haven't seen all the other ones, you might as well watch this one. All right, see you next time. Bye.